Good day traders, welcome back to this week's Market Fix. Last week turned out to be a bit of a doozy with a surprise miss on US economic data on Friday. Hopefully things will start to settle this week and give us better opportunities to once again get involved in the market. For this week we have lined up a few free crypto pairs along with a look at the breakout in gold, as well as a look at oil, and as always a few FX pairs that seems to be setting up for a nice move. We are starting this week by looking at our cryptocurrencies, and to begin, let's have a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin once again facing overhead resistance from this area at 50,500. We can see previously this area used to be a very strong support as we have a look at that head and shoulders, and you can see after this area was previously rejected, it then became support with the first test on the 23rd of August. Currently we are facing this area again and currently testing it. If we can get a good close above this area, I suspect we will see Bitcoin moving higher. First area of resistance would be from our monthly R1 pivot, 52,650, and after that there would be a good chance for a move higher to about 56,000, which is right in the center, in this center point of control, volume-wise at that area. You can see in the chart over here, indicated by the red line. In terms of support, if price gets rejected once again from this level, we have strong support from our daily 200 SMA that coincides with the yearly R2 pivot, both setting at 46,000. And only with a rejection and a close below that would we then see Bitcoin moving lower and likely seeing support being tested at these levels around 39,500, meaning a close just below 40,000. Moving on to Ethereum. Ethereum has currently taken the lead in terms of its bullish prowess and currently very close to previous all-time highs, as we can see on the chart. It is already in this area that we saw price being tested in May of this year. So I think there might be a little bit in it still. We can see we have our monthly R2 at 4,160. So that might be a potential target. And if it takes out this level, there is a good chance it will make new all-time highs. In terms of support, we have immediate support from our monthly R1 at about 3,800. A break below that could likely then see a test of that breakout from this area, which will now be support at 33,400. This is also very close to where we currently have our 21 EMA. Finally, XRP. XRP has also now broken out from this diagonal overhead resistance. It's trading above the 21 EMA, so that is a very bullish sign. You can see all our EMAs are also pointing upwards, meaning we are currently trending. It is definitely struggling with this area of resistance, which is the yearly R3 pivot, a very, very important level of resistance. We can see that previously it has also struggled with this level in August last month. So this is definitely a strong level to keep an eye out for. Previously, we see how this level used to be support. So only with a break above this 1.29 level could we expect a move higher. Should that happen, of course, first level of overhead resistance, I'd say would be at our monthly R1, 1.45, and from there it's very possible that we will see a move towards the previous all-time highs in the vicinity of about 1.71. Just looking at support currently, there would be some support at 1.2, $1.20. A break below that could see a price move lower towards this major level of support, which we have from our monthly pivot, and is also just looking at price action over the last month, where price has found some support. So about $1 to about $1.10. Yeah, that would be a good area of support should price move back into that area. Looking at gold, the precious metal, we can see that we have had a very nice break of this resistance 2 weeks ago, and then a short consolidation, which is now being followed through by another break of overhead resistance. So this definitely is bullish for this precious metal, and at this point, if we can get above these previous swing highs, we can see we are facing some resistance from this level at 1,850. This is where we found price to start pulling back on Friday. So if we can get a move above those highs, I suspect we will see a move higher for the week and probably end up somewhere around 1,860. That will be the upper end of this area of resistance. And also just looking back to about January, February, we can see that area was resistance at that time. In terms of support, we have support from our daily 100 and 200 SMAs in this area at 1,810. I'd also like to look at gold. We can see that just looking at Brent crude oil. Brent crude oil has been in a very steadily trending bullish trend, and after what appears to be quite a bit of a deep pullback actually to support at 65, it has now found its footing, and if it breaks above this diagonal resistance, I suspect we could see a move towards those previous swing highs and our monthly R1 at 76. So keep an eye out on this 73 to 74 level, as I think a move above that will put in action that move higher. In terms of support, we do have support from our daily 100 SMA and our monthly pivot, both sitting at about 70 to 70.50. Looking at the different USD pairs, we will see that with the big NFP miss on Friday, things has actually been quite a bit, not difficult, but a bit different to what was expected. We really expected the dollar to strengthen, but after that miss, obviously there was some more dollar weakening that crept in. But other than that, I still think we are seeing good levels of support currently being tested. And looking at the USDCAD, we can see that we are on a very important previous area of support, also where we have our 250 daily SMAs converging. We can see that the Friday price did pull back slightly. So it's not impossible for price to move lower still early in the week, maybe to about 1.248 or somewhere between 1.245 and 1.247. But overall, if we get back above these levels at 1.256, I'm pretty sure we could see a move higher towards our monthly pivot, at least here at 1.267. Looking at New Zealand dollar USD, here we can see that we have now broken above previous overhead resistance, a diagonal resistance, also above our daily 100 and 200 SMAs, currently facing very, very strong resistance from this area at 0.71617. I'm pretty sure we'll see some form of pullback, and just having a look at the Fibonacci's. Sorry, let's just draw that the other way around rather. So if we look at our Fibonacci's, we can see that we should potentially be looking at a pullback to at least maybe this 38.2 and at 23.6 levels. So you can see those sitting at 0.7 and 0.78 and 0.72 respectively. So those would be important areas to keep an eye out for some support should price be pulling back. And we can also see how this 0.236% pullback would coincide with our daily 100 SMA. From there, it's possible that we'll see continued price action after this break has been retested, with price moving back higher into this area of previous resistance. And I'd say the first area of resistance will then be in this area at 0.72. Moving on to the EURGBP. The EURGBP currently also struggling with resistance at this area of 0.859. We can see that we saw strong rejection on both Thursday and Friday, and currently there's a good chance we will be seeing a pullback to retest the monthly pivot sitting at 0.854. If this level holds, I suspect we will move back into that area with a break of that highs from last week, seeing a move towards the monthly R1 pivot, and I'll just put that in for you guys quickly, and that would be at 0.86, about 0.863, and you can just make that blue. So yeah, so that would be resistance should price move back into that area, and of course, I do suspect a break below this pivot will send price lower towards support at 0.850. Looking at the GBPUSD, same picture. We had an initial breakout on Friday from this diagonal resistance, also from our daily 250 SMAs. It does appear that price has rejected this breakout for now, but we are still above it. So if price were to fail and move back below this area of resistance, the first area to test would be that monthly pivot at 1.377. With a break above that, seeing price move lower, and a first area of very strong support would be at about 1.366. In terms of a new move higher, there is some overhead resistance from our daily 100 SMA and this level at 1.390. Looking at the EURUSD now, very much a similar picture to the GBPUSD. Currently facing strong overhead resistance from this area at 1.88, and I suspect that we could see a possible rejection in the week with a pullback towards our daily 50 SMA towards this area at 1.80. We can see we have our monthly pivot also right below that at 1.79. So definitely a strong possibility that we do see price retest this area. We have some overhead resistance from our monthly R1 at 1.191. So in the event where we do see price find its footing and pull back to that area, that would be resistance. Let's just quickly have a look at that Fibonacci level again. In terms of a pullback, so we can see that for that move we have that 38.2 level sitting at 1.181, and of course that retest of that breakout at our 50% Fibonacci pullback at 1.78. So finally, let's conclude by looking at the US dollar to South African rand. The rand has seen significant strength against the US dollar with, I believe, what was 8 consecutive red days closing down. And currently we are just below diagonal support, but finding some support possibly now from the daily 100 SMA and this point of control in terms of volume at 14, it was at 25. It's a slight chance for a little bit of a move lower towards a previous support, also at 14.20, but from there I do at least expect a pullback towards that daily 200 SMA, and that is sitting at 14.65. That's it for this week's analysis. Please don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, we wish you all the best with your trading, and remember, trade smart and trade successful.